Late this afternoon, a bizarre but somewhat unsurprising outcome to the Trump civil rape case in liberal New York City. Former President Trump found to be not liable for rape, but liable for abusing author E. Jean Carroll and defaming her, a jury awarding Carroll nearly $5 million. If you're wondering how a person can be accused of rape, found not liable, but liable of abuse and defamation, and then hit for $5 million, welcome to New York's legal system. The allegation itself is back from the 1990s. We can't tell you exactly what year because the victim of this rape somehow can't remember. She was raped, she just doesn't know what year it occurred. A Manhattan jury deliberated for just 3 hours before gleefully returning to award this very bizarre and completely discredited plaintiff a massive sum of money. To refresh your memory, E. Jean Carroll claims she was shopping at high-end Bergdorf department store in Midtown Manhattan 30 years ago when she ran into Donald Trump. At the time, Trump was a overwhelmingly beloved figure in New York, a wealthy developer with celebrity status. Trump owned the Plaza Hotel, which is right next door to Bergdorf's. Carroll claims Trump told her he needed help buying a gift for a woman, which started with suggestions of a purse, an accessory of some kind, and then turned to lingerie. Carroll says Trump told her to try it on in a dressing room so he can see it. A disinterested woman would have probably responded with some sort of an expletive and said, "Get away from me," but not E. Jean Carroll. Carroll actually admits to going into the dressing room with the young, handsome billionaire, and nearly 30 years later has crafted this as her excuse. She writes, "This is going to be hilarious. I'm saying to myself, and as I write this, I am staggered by my stupidity. As we head to the dressing rooms, I'm laughing aloud and saying in my mind, I'm going to make him put this thing on over his pants. The moment the dressing room door is closed, he lunges at me, pushes me against the wall, hitting my head quite badly, and puts his mouth against my lips." Carroll continues on with the details of the act, saying she was laughing at various points. Kind of weird. Most actual rape victims don't claim that the episode was hilarious. And if this all sounds rather strange, let us remind you of how E. Jean Carroll described this rape and rape in general on CNN just a few years ago.
"I was not thrown on the ground and ravished," which the word rape carries so many sexual connotations. This was not sexual. It hurt. It just, you know.
But I think most people think of rape as it is a violent assault. It is not.
I think most people think of rape as being sexy.
Let's take a short break.
Think of the fantasies.
We're just going to take a quick break. If you can stick around, we'll talk more on.
And that was the moment Anderson Cooper realized he was talking to an insane person on live television. For his part, former President Trump says the entire story is made up. "I have absolutely no idea who this woman is. This verdict is a disgrace, a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time." His legal team saying this entire bogus case is a political endeavor targeting President Trump because he is now an overwhelming frontrunner to once again be elected President of the United States. Far more compelling was Trump's actual denial during his deposition. Here it is.
Talking about going to a major floor, probably, I assume, the most important floor, a major floor in a major department store. That's a very busy store, by the way, and checkout counters and everything else. And I would be in there. I mean, it's the most ridiculous, disgusting story. It was just made up.
He makes a good point. Again, in the mid-1990s, Donald Trump was a major celebrity, especially in New York. He's in the lingerie section at Bergdorf's in Midtown Manhattan, back when Bergdorf's was bustling before online shopping and COVID-19 did the damage. You have a 6'4" A-list celebrity in the lingerie section of a department store moving into the dressing room with a young blonde, and all the noise that comes with an alleged 3-minute rape, and there were no witnesses at all. Okay. But let's ignore all that for a second. Let's assume that these two were in that dressing room and it went down as she said it did. What kind of a rape victim admits to going into a dressing room with her A-list attacker? Who goes into a dressing room with somebody willfully and then claims that they were raped? What kind of a rape victim claims she was laughing most of the time? What kind of a rape victim waits until 2019 when her attacker is deemed politically despicable by her and her uppity white liberal friends to report the crime? And what kind of a rape victim goes on CNN and says most people think rape is sexy? Maybe she thinks rape is sexy, making Anderson Cooper so uncomfortable he flees to an unplanned commercial break. Only in a city this left-wing with Trump derangement in the water supply could E. Jean Carroll pull off a stunt like this. It's truly an indictment of our legal system, especially our legal system at the ground floor. And Trump attorney Alina Habba joins us now on the phone to talk more about this. Alina, thanks for coming on. Obviously, you had a rough day, but our system gets more reliable. It gets more credible as you ascend through it toward the top. Are you going to be appealing this to a higher court?
Absolutely. Joe Tacopina did a great job today, and the past, whatever it's been, 10 days, I'm really proud of him. And I think you've said it the best, honestly, Rob. I mean, I'm not sure why I'm on after that monologue. I think you nailed it. We have a biased state time and time again. We have seen it. But what's more important is a completely unbelievable story.
Right.
And let's not forget one important thing. We have a governor that stood in, created a law for 1 year to give a window for rape victims, no matter what the statute of limitations technically would have been, which is completely insane. It's against all constitutionality. And we tried to fight it. Unfortunately, again, we're in New York. But we've got this window where you can come in 30 years later and you have to defend yourself when somebody says, this happened. How are we to defend ourselves when we have no year, no day?
Right.
How is that? How do I say to you, Rob, you stole my scissors? You stole it. I'm not sure the year. I'm not sure the day, but you did it. How do you defend yourself? And that's what we were up against. And I'm proud of the team. Look, he was not charged with the most heinous thing that I've ever heard. There was no criminal charges. And more importantly, that jury was a New York jury. And I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
Right.
It's just another day.
It's astonishing. Since the verdict was handed down, Twitter has exploded with pressure on CNN to cancel their Trump town hall, which is scheduled for tomorrow. And I mean, there's so many tweets. We just pulled a few of the bigger ones that we saw. And again, this is really what it seems to be about. They have to destroy this man before he saves this country from their agenda.
There is literally, Rob, no bigger fear right now for left-wing woke liberals and than Donald Trump. He will correct what is wrong. He will fix our country. Everybody knows that. And they need to take him down. And unfortunately, the normal American way, which is going to the ballot box and casting your vote based on policy, is not enough because he is that strong. So you've got to throw at him a DA, corrupt DAs, corrupt AGs, whatever you've got to throw it at him. And by the way, let's not forget, this is coming out of one state. One state.
Yeah.
My days and nights are consumed with one state's corruption.
Right.
And it's disgusting and it's sad. It's un-American. And all I can say is 2024, you go out, you vote, and you get to fix the country.
Right.
That's it.
And in the wake of Donald Trump the last few years, look at all of the freedoms and all the institutions in this country that are under assault. I mean, law and order, the justice system, freedom of speech, all these things in his name are being dismantled because of this fear that they've created around Donald Trump. Alina Habba, thank you so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks, Rob.